Welcome to First and 10 of HS Live. I'm sports editor Nicholas Sheba. Again with me is the king of the cow, I think the most traveled man on the history of the roadway, Mike McGarry. Ocean City, Rutgers, now Mays Landing and Oakcrest?
Yeah, all I know is the season's 2 weeks old and I've covered 9 games already, which usually would take you about 5 weeks to get to.
That's got to be some kind of record for you, right?
It is good. It's a great thing to be able to see so many teams and so many good players earlier in the season, but it does leave you a bit tired for week 3. But we'll rejuvenate and get ready to go.
Week 3 is like week 7 in a way this year. We're at Oakcrest. You know, they've been one of the really good feel-good stories of the year. 2-0 for the first time in a while, and kind of what's the difference?
Yeah, Mike Forrest took over. He's an Oakcrest graduated here from 1999, was a standout wide receiver. He's taken over the program, sort of brought back some new energy into it. The Falcons are 2-0. They've opened up with wins over Pleasantville and Buna Regional. Quarterback Aaron Bullock has done some real nice things at the quarterback position, and they host Egg Harbor Township on Friday night here in Mays Landing with an opportunity to go to 3-0. So a good feelings, a good vibe around Oakcrest football right now.
Another team that's 2-0 is Cedar Creek. Plus 88 score difference, if I have it correct?
Yeah, I think they've outscored their opponents 88-0, right? Their 2 opponents running clocks in both games. Now, you know, they have some real standout at the skill positions. JoJo Bermudez, of course, at wide receiver. Few players in the state more dynamic and explosive than him. A guy who's been the difference is Pleasantville transfer Jaquan Howard. Running back, he's got the ability to run between the tackles, scored 4 touchdowns against Willingboro at Rutgers up on Monday. He gives Cedar Creek something they never really had before, even when they had the Meltons and the Mitchells and were winning South Jersey titles, was that back who could really run between the tackles. They're a much more physical team because of Howard and a better team.
In that defense, we've talked about it before, that's a real veteran defense over there.
Right, a lot of the seniors on that defense were sophomores on the 2019 team that won the South Jersey Group 2 title. You know, CJ Resto is a guy who seems like he's been there for a year. Kevin Darkety has had really 2 good games against Scotch Plains and Willingboro, and now Cedar Creek hosts Pleasantville on Saturday. Pleasantville coming in at 0-2, but it's a big game for Cedar Creek. Cedar Creek has not beaten Pleasantville since, I believe, 2015, and they've lost 4 straight to the Greyhounds, including a 57-0 playoff game a few years back, and they lost last year's season opener. So it's a big game out in Egg Harbor City on Saturday.
I think we all scratched our head when we saw that 57-0 playoff game a couple years ago. Another game we'll focus on, you'll be out in beautiful downtown Medford Lakes as the Thunderbolts of Millville head to Shawnee. And you know, this is the real kind of, like, outside Union, this is probably one of South Jersey's best public schools.
Yeah, Shawnee, obviously a perennial power. I think they were 1-5 last year in the COVID year, but, you know, we're not going to take anything, you know, too much credence in stuff that happened last year. Millville, number 3 in our Elite 11, Shawnee, number 7, and it's a Shawnee team. Again, we talked about the Cedar Creek, Pleasantville, Cedar Creek looking for revenge, Millville looking for some revenge. Shawnee beat Millville in, I believe, was the 2019 and 2018 South Jersey Group 4 semifinals, and these are 2 teams that'll play Friday night, like you said, out in Medford. They could meet again in the South Jersey Group 4 playoffs later this season.
And Millville might be the fastest public school team in the state, like a track team.
Yeah, a lot of talent. LeQuint Allen at running back, the freshman, we've all heard about him. Lozier Brooks at wide receiver. Nate Robbins does an outstanding job at quarterback. So we'll see if Shawnee can slow the Thunderbolts down.
Also, Ocean City hosts Absegami. Absegami with a nice bounce back win last week. Ocean City just continuing to roll on here.
Well, they're another team. You talk about Cedar Creek. Ocean City's another team that is 2-0 and hasn't allowed a point this season, coming off a 24-0 win over Hamilton last week. They beat Vineland, I think, 20-0, so they're 44-0 or 45-0 to start the season. They've got Jacob Wilson running the football for them. He's got 285 yards rushing in 2 games. Riley Gunnels has done a nice job at quarterback. It's an Ocean City team that's physical and efficient, is how I would describe the Red Raiders. They'll look to slow down Ray Weed and Absegami on Friday night.
Any other West Jersey Football League games you're looking forward to this weekend?
Well, I think we got an interesting one, kind of a classic matchup when St. Joe goes out to visit Cherokee. You know, you kind of got that big public school Group 5 team against the parochial power, so that's an interesting one. And of course, Camden at 1-1 comes and travels to Holy Spirit, who's number 1 in our Elite 11 Friday night in Upseekin. So those are 2 more games to watch.
And we focus a lot on those teams, but it's interesting to see them playing public schools, which I love to see that parochial public school matchup.
Right, and that's what you get this week. This week is the first week that the West Jersey Football League actually plays division games, so you're seeing those division matchups, you know, that we kind of all look forward to.
And up in their short conference, Lacey Township head coach Lou Versillo goes for win 300.
Right, the only coach Lacey has ever had, Lou Versillo, goes for win number 300. They host Brick Township on Friday night. Lou has been there since the school opened and has a great opportunity to make history on Friday night for Lacey Township.
Follow Mike McGarry on Twitter at
AC Press McGarry.
And follow all the action this week at PressiveAC.com.